Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is June 6th, and right now I am in a hotel in Liberal, Kansas. Just at a morning run here. We're going to be out chasing storms again today, probably dropping down into Texas. Saw about 3 tornadoes yesterday. I'll show you one of those images here coming up. Pretty fun day out there, pretty close to a lightning strike as well that hit right next to the car. So some fun stuff with regards to that. But anyway, taking a look here at the mid-level water vapor loop of Pacific Northwest to the upper right. Look at this trough out here across the Pacific Ocean, amplifying this ridge. It's going to bring us a period of some very warm weather here across the region. We'll take a look at those details. We'll take a look at what is coming as we go through the mid portion of June as well. Looks like we got some big changes in store, so stay tuned for some of that. And looking here at the ridge, this is the Pacific Ocean again. We're kind of looking at some cyclonic relative vorticity here that gets embedded in some of the flow. And you can kind of see it there with the ridge, the trough way off to the left, the upper left of this image. If I put that into motion, you can see that ridge get extended back across the Pacific Northwest here. But as you can see, we got that Gulf of Alaska low that's helping to amplify that ridge. And eventually it's going to break things down and start to cool us down as we go through next week. But not before we have some very warm days upcoming here. And then as you can see, as I scroll towards the end of this forecast here, you can see that troughing here coming across southeast Alaska, and you can see the next system moving in as we go through some portion of next week. Now, wider view of things here is the North Pacific. There's Alaska right there, is the Hawaiian Islands. You've got Japan to the left of this image, Pacific Northwest to the right. If I put that into motion, you can clearly see what is this ridge here. We're looking at 39,000 feet. You can clearly see the ridge that's going to be dominating our weather pattern for the next few days and keeping us relatively dry here across the region until we go towards the end of the forecast again. And you see the next trough coming across the Gulf of Alaska and approaching the Pacific Northwest. We start to head on in towards June 11th and 12th or so. And we'll take a look at the extended forecast here in a moment. Looking at the next 6 days, 144 hours or so, you can see that we do have some precipitation. It's going to be in the form of thunderstorms for some of eastern Oregon, southern eastern Oregon, some of Idaho, some of the higher terrain of British Columbia, maybe northeast Washington. But you see Seattle, Portland, Vancouver, really not much to speak of. We're going to be relatively dry. But then after that, we got a trough on the way. So that's something we'll be watching over the next few days. And just briefly looking at things, you can see as we go through this weekend, look at these winds off the coastline. They're kind of out of the north and kind of offshore flow, generally speaking, across the Pacific Northwest. And then as we go on in towards next week, that pattern switches up, and pretty typical end to the heat waves around here is when we get the onshore flow returning. You get the marine push. I'll try to remember to look over that in some detail here as we go on in through next week. As we warm things up, we're going to get one of those nice marine pushes. You can see the westerly winds returning east of the mountains as well, and cooling things down across much of the region as we go towards the end of next week. Looking at the National Blend of Models, this is a daily 2-meter maximum temperature Friday, June 6th. Seattle up towards 80, some mid-80s out there, western Oregon, some 90s showing up for eastern Washington. Put that into motion, and you got Saturday here, things warming up, and then Sunday, look at Seattle, 87 degrees, Portland mid-90s, maybe touching 100 degrees out there towards the Tri-Cities, Boise mid-90s as well. Look at the Okanagan River Valley, some mid and upper 90s showing up, the Fraser River Valley getting to the upper 80s also. Then we go through Monday, again a very warm day, over 100 degrees there for some portions of eastern Washington on Monday, June 9th, and then we go to Tuesday, cool down a little bit like for Seattle, but still 81, fairly warm. And then you can see the cool down start to really get going here. West of the Cascades, Seattle down to 74, some 70s out there for Portland. And then you go to Thursday and you see things cool down dramatically so by 20 plus degrees for some areas by the time we get towards Thursday. Friday, again, Mother Nature definitely kicking on the AC as we go through the mid and the end portion of next week, at least according to most of the models as of right now. And we'll continue to explore that over the next few days. But I wanted to show you here the European ensemble mean as of last night. So I'll put this into motion. There is the ridge right there dominating our weather. You're looking at Alaska here. There's the continental USA. There's Canada. And of course, you got Mexico down here, and there is our ridge giving us our warm weather. But as you can see, that ridge is going to be giving way to a trough here as we go towards the mid portion of June. And if we back up one run here, we can look a little bit further out. This is last night's European model here, the ensemble mean, and you can really see that trough, very good agreement here, setting up across some of Western Canada, and definitely no big ridge, no big heat wave as we go through the mid portion of June. It'll be interesting to see what kind of weather this wants to bring. We're going to get some thunderstorms out of this and some precipitation, some meaningful precipitations yet to be determined, of course, but we'll continue to watch that over the next few days. And I'll take a look here at my X page, and you can see the tornado that we did see yesterday. We saw a few others too. A couple of them touched down right next to us in the field. They were spinning up quite nicely, and we might have seen a couple that were tucked away. Just an awesome mesocyclone with this storm, but we did miss the tornado of the day. Kind of discouraging because I targeted West Texas there in the New Mexico border for several days, actually probably in upwards of a week watching that exact area. And even as of yesterday morning, I was targeting that area, then for some reason changed my mind. Last minute we went north. So it was still a fun day there, but it's always a disappointment when you miss the better tornado in a different target. But we will try again today, similar conditions out there. But anyway, yeah, so click like and subscribe. Hope you guys are having a good day, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.